ready. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Addie, you ready? Addie's ready. I know. Okay. Hi, everybody. I'm Mary Perry and Addie Comfort Dog.
And I'm David Zen, and doggone it, we're unscripted.
Knew it. It was right out of the bat, Addie. I knew it right out of the bat. Oh my gosh. Hi, everybody. Today we're coming to you from the Praise Kicks studio, as well as the Comfort Dog headquarters for the day. So it's right here. So we're glad to be with you all today. And how are you doing today, Dave? Doggone it.
I'm doing great.
Speaking of doggone it, how's Monroe?
Well, I have a report from our South Florida fans.
Yep.
Let's see if we do have a picture of Monroe watching us last week.
What? Let's see what that looks like. This is awesome.
There he is.
Oh man, look at that. Monroe! Check you out. Oh, that's awesome. Look at him. Very intently too.
Absolutely. So there's a little bit more to this story.
What?
As soon as he heard us talking about him,
Yeah.
he ran off, and I'm going to show you this video. He ran off and got his lamb squeaky toy. He ran off and picked up his lamb squeaky toy and brought it back in and started squeaking it.
Yep.
But he kind of has the long legs of a chihuahua and the ears of a chihuahua.
Yeah. Oh, he's adorable. How old is Monroe?
I don't know.
I love it.
So it's very appropriate with our gospel readings. He goes off and he gets the lamb, right?
Gets the lamb. Oh my gosh, that is amazing. It's amazing. You know what that just made me think of? First of all, hi to Monroe and hi to everybody down in our South Florida.
We'll do all the hellos in a minute.
Okay. But I was just thinking something when you were talking about he went off to go get his lamb. And I was thinking about something that I had heard, and it was like, what do you call a sheep covered in chocolate?
I don't know. You're going to tell us.
A candy bar.
Candy bar. Only in Massachusetts.
Only in Massachusetts. I thought it would kind of transcend down here. Anyway, you were saying, I'm trying to get out of the gate early.
You know, when I saw Monroe come back with his little squeaky toy, it reminded me of that famous nursery rhyme.
Oh, which one?
The one that goes like this. Monroe had a little lamb, its fleece was white as snow. And when Monroe saw Unscripted, he made his lamb squeak so.
That is amazing. Is that all you? Because that's a great little thing right there. That's awesome.
That's all me. Now, Monroe likes to tell stories too.
Does he?
He does. And he was telling me about this border collie that he knows.
Yeah.
And his owner was very proud of him. And the owner, matter of fact, was talking to one of his friends. He said, "You should see my border collie." So the friend comes over and asks for a little demonstration. So he's got his sheep out in the field, and the border collie goes out and brings them all in. And the neighbor's sitting there looking at him, and he goes, "I thought you said you only had 37 lambs. How come I'm counting 40? And the farmer said, "Well, he's a border collie. He always rounds them up."
Addie, get it? Round up. She might have left the studio. Round up. I get it. This is awesome. And this has gone to the dogs. Yep. I just wanted to use that before you said it, so I got in there. That's a good one, though. That's a good one. Oh, gosh.
So here we are, Thursday, talking about St. Paul's.
Yep.
Our sword points is out this morning.
Yes.
There's a lot about bread and Transfiguration, which is actually tomorrow. That's the day we celebrate the Transfiguration, August 6th every year.
Yep.
And the schedule for the week is getting a little slim because it is the middle of summer.
Right.
We have the drive-through food collection
Okay.
Wednesday, August 11th.
Yep.
That has been very strong every week. People that come in and donate are always amazed at how we fill up basically 2 truckloads. And what else do you have going?
See, I have my full calendar of classes all week, and Tuesday, Thursday, and then Saturday. And I think that might be it for this coming week. Yep.
So let's talk about Sunday.
Yeah.
This is Julie Mudge's 5th and final week with us this summer.
Okay.
We've enjoyed her sermons very much and enjoyed her being with us. Very interesting readings this week. One from 2 Samuel is about David's rebellious son who is actually at war with him. And David tells his commanders to be, I think he knows he's going to win the battle, but he tells them to be careful and cautious with Absalom. Instead, Absalom goes out and gets killed as they chase him into the woods. And David laments, if I can only have taken his place. I think the direct quote is, would that I have died instead of you, which I'm going to throw out as a possible sermon title.
Right. Wow.
It doesn't seem like something that you would use for a sermon, but there is a parallel here where David grieves for his son that dies. And I think God is probably grieving. I mean, if he could take Jesus' place, he probably would.
Absolutely. Wow. That's really amazing. Yeah. That's a possibility.
And then all the gospel readings were in like part 3. It's almost getting repetitive of the bread of life.
Yep.
Jesus talks about that a lot. And one of the possible sermon titles that I'm thinking of is, remember the Wonder Bread commercials? I think it was Wonder Bread builds strong bodies 12 ways or something.
Yep.
I'm thinking one title could be Jesus Wonder Bread builds strong bodies in eternal ways.
Oh, nice play right there.
So we throw that out for Julie.
Julie, you could do a lot with that. I could totally see that. Go ahead.
And I'll give you one more since we like to throw 3 out there.
Yes.
How about something more than a meal ticket?
Oh. Which isn't that a little bit in line with some of the questions she tossed out to us last week, didn't she? In the sermon.
Yeah.
If anybody was unable to hear her sermon, you may want to re-listen to it on our YouTube channel, because she did offer some really good questions that
Hard question, yeah. Yes, she did.
For prayer time and reflection. So that's a good thing.
So one little note that I have in sword points, in the epistle reading from Ephesians, there's a line here. It says, do not grieve the Holy Spirit.
Yes.
Which is interesting. And this little piece talks about that. It's on page 8 of sword points. So do not sadden the spirit. And it's about, I think it's pretty easy for us to understand how we could sadden God or Jesus, because we think of them more as persons. But this line says, do not grieve the Spirit. So we don't typically think of the Holy Spirit as a person that can be grieved or has feelings like Jesus and God would.
Mm.
It is, we do believe in the Trinity and the 3 persons of the Trinity. So that's an intriguing line and a possibility for a whole sermon in itself, I guess.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So interesting. Really good. Wow. Those were really good. You spent some time on that, I can tell.
Oh, I did. Probably 30 seconds.
You know what I spent some time on is when you're going back to the meals, I was thinking that, there was a call for if anybody, that we do have one person we're still doing some meals for, and that they were okay right now, but there's all the gardens are just really full right now. And, I know various food banks are looking for any fresh produce they have. But I was thinking about it because someone who does a lot of gardening had mentioned to me that they have a friend who really claims that they can communicate with vegetables. Have you ever heard this? This guy can really communicate with vegetables. And to the point that she said to me, yeah, Jack and his beans talk.
They do. I've
They
always.
do. Jack and his beans talk. Yep. Anyway, just wanted to tie
So,
that.
you know what? It's interesting you mentioned the gardens because we're coming on that period in August. There's about a 5-day window that I've observed every year where it seems like everyone in Connecticut gets fresh tomatoes. They all ripen at the same time. And there's an abundance of tomatoes for about 5 days, and then that's it.
Wow, so true. So true.
So be prepared.
Was that?
A lot of tomato sauce flowing here soon.
Oh, whoa. That would be not too bad. Have you spent any time outdoors or in the evening at all, watching some of the sunsets and stuff? They've been amazing.
They really have been.
Yeah, they really have been. And I was thinking about it because I was looking up and I saw the moon, and this is the kind of stuff I think about. I'm like, I wonder how the moon cuts his hair.
How the moon does what with its hair? Combs?
Cuts his hair.
How does the moon cut his hair?
He eclipses it.
Eclipses it.
He eclipses it. Addie, try it one more time. He eclipses it. Good.
Addie's very impressed.
She had to listen to me remotely try to practice these before. So she's already.
Yeah. That's why she went off in the corner to go to sleep.
She did. Like, oh my gosh. She was done after Monroe's big story. That was her story for the day. Oh my gosh. That's really all I was musing about this week.
Well, I will tell you one more little story.
Okay.
I noticed on Facebook a friend of mine who's over in Europe, he went by Paris and he was looking at the progress they're making on Notre Dame Cathedral.
Oh.
And we tend to, that fire was that was 2 years ago, 2019. Wow. They are making a lot of progress. It reminded me of the story that Victor Hugo wrote about Quasimodo and Notre Dame.
Yeah.
And doing a little research, actually, it's interesting. There actually was a hunchback. They're not sure if that's who he was writing about, but his purpose in writing, and it was actually the first title of the book was Notre Dame. He was actually writing to promote the architecture of the cathedral, the Gothic architecture. That was his purpose. But he ended up writing this great story about Quasimodo, who was the hunchback of Notre Dame. Now, one of his jobs, he was the bell ringer. And he was there for a long time, and all good things must come to an end. So he died. And the priests in charge put out an ad because they need to get a new bell ringer.
Yeah.
So they weren't getting a lot of responses. And finally, this one guy showed up that had no arms. And they're like, how are you going to do this? He says, well, I've done this my whole life, but I just hit the bell with my head. So they gave him a little trial, and it sounded great. It produced a superb sound. So they hired him, and he's ringing the bells, and everyone likes it. But one day he got his foot caught in the rope, and it like flipped him out the tower, and he landed down in the plaza out in front of the cathedral. So everyone's milling around him, and the two priests are out there. And he said, you know, we never asked him what his name was. And the other priest goes, you know, that's true, but his face does ring a bell. So if you think that's the end of the story.
It's not?
No. Because he's dead, so they have to get another bell ringer.
No.
So while they're out there, there's commotion going on. A guy comes up and he says, well, that was my brother. Now, this guy is totally normal. He said, I taught him how to play the thing. So he said, we need a replacement for your brother. Can you play? So we go, sure. So he goes up there and they end up hiring him as a replacement bell ringer. So lo and behold, after a long time, a similar fate happens to him. He doesn't get caught up in the ropes, but he ends up slipping one day and he falls down. And there again, the two priests are down there milling around with everyone else. And here again, they forgot to ask him his name. But the one priest says, I don't know who he is, but he's a dead ringer for his brother.
I'm almost afraid to ask, is that the end of the story?
That's the end of the story for today.
Wow, there is no way to top that. No way. Oh gosh. Well, thank you for doing all that research on Notre Dame. That's just amazing. And I didn't know those stories that you just told. I mean, those are little known stories. I know you're very good at sleuthing and history and stuff. So thanks for doing that and sharing that to our audience.
Okay, well, let's have a great week, and we'll see everyone on Sunday.
Bye, everybody. Peace. Thanks to everybody that wrote in for the jokes for me. Yay.
Oh, you paid staff now?
They're not paid, but they're helping me out.
Oh my gosh, you know what we forgot to do?
What?
We were so excited in talking about Monroe. We forgot to say hello to my mom.
Hi, Mrs. Zen.
We forgot to say hello to my sister.
Oh, hi, Sue.
And my nephew, Tim, who is
Him.
his wife, Diana, and granddaughter, Kaya.
Kaya.
So hello to the whole clan down there. Don't park too much, you know, but have a good time, and we hope you enjoyed Unscripted.
Absolutely, and thank you for watching. Keep those cards and letters coming, okay? Bye.
Everyone.
Oh my God.
And we see your mouth and your nose.
There we go. Oops. Hold on. There we go. How's that ads? There we go.